You can see it right up there. So when it gets close to 7:30, you know, I want you to always close it out.
Okay.
Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust. Every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome. Let's talk about it Wednesday. Here we are. We back in the studio doing what we do. Before I even get started, I have to just say I give honor to God for my purpose, and I give honor to God for your purpose. And I ask that you keep me in prayer as I pray for you. If we do this, they say those who pray together stay together. So that's my focus. And I just want to go into New Year 2022 with a positive mind and outlook on life. And when I say that, outlook on life, guess what? I have my life coaching here with me, Hanadi. How you doing today?
Fabulous. Thank you for having me again.
I am always honored to be in your presence.
Thank you.
One of the things that a lot of people don't know um, is that this is a journey for me, and the journey has been very trying because we don't fabricate things. So I got to be honest with you. We was having my session prior to it coming in, and Hanadi, she what she does, she opens up my thinking and puts me in a position where I have to really deal with the truth and reality of who I am and what I'm bringing to the table. And I want to tell you, thank you for that.
For that. So I'm happy that we're continuing the session here. And as Rodney said, uh, it's not prepared. It's not. It's just natural. We're very natural. So we'll take it as it comes.
Yes. And so just I want people to know that when we on camera, she's a little more laid back with me. She hard on me when I'm by myself.
Gotta be.
She, you come at me and you really set me up to be able to come to you and be honest with my emotions. But one of the things that I'm struggling with even now, and that's my spiritual growth. I'm trying so hard to make sure that I maintain um, a good relationship with God. And in this aspect, I realized that what it's causing me to do is to have to separate myself from people. And I don't know if that makes sense, but when I say that, that means that I can't be really concerned about all the havoc. Trying hard is to put my best foot forward, to try to make sure that I'm doing my best, giving my all in all.
Why is it hard? Or how
Because
is it hard?
a lot of times what I do is I put myself in a position that I look for gratification from other people,
Hmm.
and that's what makes it hard. Because instead of me just leaning on God and just working on my relationship with God, a lot of times I go to man, and I got to stop doing that. And it's a habit. It's a habit that I got to learn to break.
And what do you think? One thing you can do to break that pattern, if I may call.
Well, one of them is I got a life coach. For
Okay.
real. Because if you don't know, you don't know. Some of the things that I've learned is through the process of our sessions.
Mm.
We was having a session prior to coming in here.
Yes.
And it was I was really you saw me for a minute. I almost started getting emotional.
About
Right?
yeah, and
Okay.
that's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to mention here again that when let it be, because while you're talking, maybe as we said, talking to yourself or listening to the voice in your head is different than when you speak it out. So that allows you to hear a different voice from you, from the mind. That's maybe more the spirit. And I think that by itself gives a clarity to what's really bothering you or what's the issue. It's maybe it's not bothering, maybe it's just something you're thinking about. And our issue today is, as you said during the session, it's keeping the space, I would call it, like protecting yourself, or maybe learning or practicing to say no, keep a limit. And that's an issue most of the people struggle with, putting a limit, learning how to say no,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Uh, I just want to,
So, for people that's watching, when they, my purpose for having a life coach is for me to make my life better, and that's what's happening. So, what I do is I find myself that a lot of times I'll get into this state of mind where I have an agenda, but I get sidetracked because I brain on other people's agenda.
hmm,
And then if theirs don't fit with mine, it causes disruption in my path in which I'm trying to travel, because I know what I want. I know what I want. When I wake up and every time I come into this studio, I know what my agenda is, but it may not be the agenda of everybody else.
and it's never required to be, right?
No,
Because everybody has a different agenda or
right,
different thinking or different way of doing things. This is a very important point you're bringing here. Is where the balance that we're trying to build inside shows here. How can we fit our things or our dreams, our agendas, our missions within others without not harming yourself, not harming others? I would say, and this is also continuation of what we said last week, it's uh, it's always like being within yourself, like you're accepting that things cannot be perfect for you or for others. It's knowing that it's not it's not up to others to make you happy.
right,
If a situation happened, uh, and you see that things are not going according to plan, I cannot stress this enough, then do not immediately go to it's the other people's fault.
right,
Even if it appears on the surface like that, like it did not fitting, things are not happening the way I wanted it to be, but let me see what can I do. And then that becomes a different situation,
right.
but all goes back to you,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Uh, how does that sound to you from your experience, from what's been going on with you with business, or I mean specifically with business lately?
Well, you're right on point. Okay, so what I've been doing again is it always, I got to be real and understand it always come back to me.
Always.
It always come back to me.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. At first, I start to, sometimes what I do is I try to look at everybody else and say, well, this went wrong because of him. This went wrong because of her. This went wrong because of them, right?
Uh-huh.
But as we was talking in the session, can't nothing go wrong in here because I'm
Put the blame on others. Everyone has to take their responsibility. But I'm talking about the emotional impact on you,
right,
on how you feel it, on the voice that comes to your head, the talking that you're going to talk to yourself. It's not being, okay, because of others, then this happened. Okay, others did not fulfill what I was expecting from them, but I have a role to be cool, let's say, or to be calm, to know how to manage the situation. Uh, just again, maybe in another session, we'll talk about the role of victim, and this is a big topic, right?
yeah,
But for now, I want you to avoid feeling sorry for yourself, and feeling, oh, things are really going wrong. We just want to see how can we move from that point. How can you
that'll make a big difference with me, as far as how my emotions are controlled. as I was sharing, but I had a situation. Somebody did something that they had good intent, but it started to go bad. And the only way that I could correct it is that I had to call the person and address it. I got this. I was directed to do this by somebody who's very close to me, and so I did that, and it turned out pretty good. I was
I was
really
just gonna say,
happy.
how did you feel when you did that? Because
I felt real good.
okay,
The problem was is that in the beginning I didn't have that thinking.
okay, let's talk about this. This is very interesting. So what happened at the beginning and how did it end up? This is good to
And
share.
in the beginning, I was getting ready to have a whole bunch of unnecessary turmoil.
And what was going on your head?
I was going in thinking that they was coming after me. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I could have did this, which would have made it been a lot better. And not all the time look for the negative of it because it didn't go as smooth as I anticipated.
Thank you. That's great. Having to say that, it doesn't mean that the action was not wrong. Maybe the action, yes, was wrong. It was not right to do the way it did. But our concern here is you. I mean, as my client, I'm concerned about you. What happened inside your head? What happened to your emotions? And did you allow that to roll over the situation? Because at one point, maybe you were about to, right? You were about to react to what had happened. And then, and this is where I always, acknowledge your power here. You stopped and you pulled back and you decided to do something else.
Yes, yes. It was funny because afterwards I was like, man, I should have did this at first. It's a process. It's a process
It's
of
a
learning.
process, and see sometimes how things can just change with a word, right?
Yeah,
It could have been a dilemma or a big issue, and it goes on and on and on. But because you changed the way you're thinking, or your mind, or how you received it, then everything had changed, right? The situation flipped.
yes,
That's how I see it. So the point here is when we change the way we look at things, things change.
yeah. And that's what I always go to. It's a program that we have called Man in the Mirror, and that's one of the things that we talk about is look in the mirror and check yourself out before you go passing judgment on somebody else
Right.
or pointing a finger. And so for many people out there, this dressed up trash can.
Wow.
You know,
Hmm.
I don't want to be that. I want to be something that when something comes in, something good come out. I,
That's great.
you know,
That's great.
so and that's what I look for through this process with people to people, helping people, having a life coach, having people who I pray with and study with, having my wife, trying to move forward, trying to build relationships in my family. You asked me in the other room. You asked me what did I want.
I was gonna ask the same question now. What do you want? Yes.
Um, actually, um, I really wanted my family to come together. It is
Okay,
what it is.
Rodney, I just wanna, because I know that you've been through a lot this year and you've achieved a lot. To me, you've really done. When I say achieved, I'm not talking about the materialistic achievement. I'm talking about your inner self, your emotions. I mean, your health, your inner health, the peace. Can you tell us, as we are saying goodbye to 2021, what was the lessons that you learned from? I mean, highlights of what lessons that you can share with us.
The highlights is looking in the mirror and seeing who I really am, understanding that I don't have to be unhappy.
Can
And
I say that looking at the mirror and seeing who you are is being real, trying to accept yourself as you are?
yes, a winner.
Of course.
I don't always have to be the winner.
You won't enjoy it then. Imagine if you're always the winner,
right,
then there's no challenge.
right. But I want to be in the process.
Okay.
But I don't have to be the winner.
It's not where we're going to, it's the journey.
It's the journey,
It's the
and
journey.
that's what I'm learning to understand.
Yes.
Even during the process of me with me working on my inner self. I'm constantly knowing going into 2022 that it's about me dissecting my spiritual, my spiritual thought
Mm-hmm.
and my spiritual relationship to put me in a position where I can actually maintain and function even when things get bad without me falling apart.
Okay, that's great.
Because I see so many people dealing with my wife. That'd be one song I definitely want played if I transition and whenever, whatever. But that's one of my favorite songs that is all about. Uh, I think that God created a magnificent piece of art for us, and I'm talking when I see the fall and when I see the spring.
It always resonates with something inside.
Yes,
I think because that the stillness, the beauty of all this of nature, then when we pay attention to that, we're awakening things inside us. That this harmony, then we become balanced, more balanced. Let's talk about. I mean, before we end, about tips of how you get out of stressful situations. I know we've talked about few, and you've been mastering
yeah.
and committed to. So here we want to talk about few tips that we can do once we see ourselves going into that situation. I would say number one is realize it. Realize I'm going there. So stop and take a deep breath, and then you know just this is number one. Just be still for a minute, for a second even. Just if we can be still for a bit before we before we even start thinking or naming the situation, just be still for a minute.
I like it that you said that. So this is one thing that I'm thinking. I said I was going to practice. So sometimes me and my wife can have a disagreement, and immediately I can go into a frame of mind where okay, I'm gonna be mad,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
But I'm
Talking about. I mean, the option you create in your mind once anything happens or when any situation started to go, south.
south.
Yeah. So this is number one, and there's something you told me before we talked about getting yourself grounded.
Yes.
I just want to, if you can share about the day when you just stood barefoot on the floor
Right.
and looked at the sun or the sky.
When I do that, I connect with God's creation.
Connect. Yes.
I connect, and what I allow is what I do know for a fact. Everything that God has created is connected, one way or another.
Yes, we're all
We're
connected.
all connected,
Mm.
and so I start to. If I remember mentoring to some young people, and I try everything's going to die. The sun gives trees the oxygen and so forth and so on. It's all connected, right?
Yes.
And so when I started thinking about that, I said, you know what? That's when I know that God has put it all for us to be able to be grounded even with the trees because the trees matter and the ground and the grass and so forth. And when I stand in the midst of it, I can feel the connection. Without no socks on, without no
Right.
shoes, I
Barefoot.
face and when the sun rising or even if the sun's setting, I still feel the connection. And what happens is the impurities of my thoughts start to drain. The impurities of things that I feel in my body, I start to feel them come out. Somebody did something one time for me for a birthday present. They took me to this place where I had to stick my feet in the water,
Mm.
and they had this solution or something, earth the same way. Whatever was pulling all that impurities out, I know that God has that within the earth itself. And I stand firm and I've done it so many times and I can be like, man, this is amazing. And it's all about letting go, letting
Allowing.
God.
It's all about allowing it to happen.
Yes.
Yes, allowing it to happen.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the second tip I would say. I mean, and I remember. I mean, we talked about that and what it did to your day after you've done that. So it's just connecting, feel the connection, feel your body, feel the earth, feel the sun, anything, but just be rooted for a minute. We're talking about tips on how to ease up things on you once a situation try to get hard or difficult. So, I mean, we cannot find a solution immediately. Stand up or even sitting or in any situation, any position, and just try to connect. Feel your body, feel your breathing, feel your hands. Just think about your hands for a second. That creates a space within your mind because the mind is cluttered, right? There's so many things ongoing and the fighting. And once we create that space, then that makes it easy for us to decide on the next step.
Yes.
So,
I
yeah.
agree 100%.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I'm trying to develop in the routine of responding to all issues.
A routine, I like that. And this should be a daily routine. Even
Yes.
if you're not passing through any challenge, just by making this a routine, like every day when I wake up, I have to ground myself. I need to ground myself that I can receive the day. And now here we're saying about receiving the new year, maybe by being so grounded, so, uh, you know, elaborating on that or relying on it, you mean?
It's not accepting because I've already
You've already,
acknowledged
yes,
it.
yes,
So it's relying on it. I would use that terminology. Say it's better for me to rely on that versus me rely on my physical aspect of trying to take all that energy and figure out how I'm going to control it when it's getting a little overwhelming for me. And so what I do is now, and that's my goal for 2022, is to really allow my spiritual growth to take over and let it not be the physical aspect of also like I'm trying to build a muscle. I want to build this new understanding of communication with God, that through my relationship like that
not control others or others' reactions. But by controlling our energy, or not controlling, but working on our energy, we can attract the energy that suits us at that level. Because if you are in this high or this level of energy, what you attract is going to be at the same level. If you allow it to be low and you go low energy, then your subconscious is going to attract that, and that
Yes.
you don't want.
And that's so true.
So, Rodney, what's one word for you for 2022? What's your word for 2022?
My word for 2020.
One word.
One word is transformation.
Transformation. That's great.
Transformation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. This is my life coach, Miss Hanadi. She is an amazing, amazing lady.
Oh.
No, really, and I appreciate you. I want people to know that in the right direction, then they give glory and praise to God and say, hey, I know I'm doing the right thing. But I want to tell you, thank you, peace and
Thanks
blessings to you.
Thanks to you, and Happy New Year for everyone, and Happy New Year to you too.
And y'all got to tune in. So we got this the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be sitting in the seat with her. So I want y'all to look. I'm trying to get her so that it'll be some other people who will be able to reach out. Write down the number 703-752-6120 to be able to call in and ask Ms. Hanadi questions, things that's going to help you move better into the year coming forth, that you will be able to change the negative.
All right. Where's my ready, Cristy? I'm ready. Okay. All right. I'm getting everything. All right.
So I don't know if I'm the one supposed to do the introduction, but I'm just saying it. It's Let's Talk About It Wednesday with the ladies.
All right.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Hey, you guys. Welcome to People to People. Let's talk about it Wednesday. I wonder how your day went. My day was fabulous. You know what?
Yes.
This is how my
Let
day
let
went.
your head down.
Yes.
I know,
My
that's
day
right.
went like this. I didn't get up until 11 o'clock this morning, so I'm feeling good.
I woke up early and then I went back to sleep. Then I got back up.
Sorry for all of y'all that went to work, but
Yeah.
hopefully you're at home relaxing while you're watching us.
Hmm.
Go ahead, let them know about our topic. It seems like everybody's talking about it, but we always have our own spin.
Yeah, so I was just getting up and I was preparing myself, and then I was just thinking, oh my goodness, this year is about to be over. I was like, somebody said it's about to be, I think, the Saturday, yep, New Year's.
Yep.
And I said,
Party, party,
wow,
party, party,
that
party.
is really, really around the corner. So
Mm-hmm.
I was just writing down a few things, but because it's the new year, it's all about just, you want to change your mindset, new changes, any habits you want to break, health, I just figure motion.
Because I get to propel forward for 2022. I spent a lot of time hesitating last year and second guessing myself. I get to not do that this year.
Yeah.
I get to leap out on faith and stop worrying about the how. The worrying about the how for me has been a hesitation. That's what gets me worried and second guessing myself. And if we're manifesting, so it's about trust and faith, right?
Right.
So you get to just jump into it. God always answers. Just gotta listen. Listen to God, not what other people are saying or looking to your friend. What do you think?
Yeah.
Because God always has an answer for you before you even ask the question. So that's what's going on for me. How about you?
Yeah, I definitely doing that for myself, so that way when I am feeling alone, and of course talking to God more, I could just work on that as well. So I definitely want to go in the new year with that mindset of just feeling more better and talking more better about myself, so that way I can walk more into that.
Oh, your self-talk.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yes.
important. You guys, let us know what your word for this year is. Lady Z is going to read it out to us. We definitely want to keep you encouraged and pray for you throughout the year. Our phone number, if you have questions or you want to talk to us about your new year
Yes, call
and your
in.
goals, call in. 703-752-6120. 703-752-6120. Give us a call. Hey, and you know what? While you're giving us about what happens when you're not sure what to do as far as setting goals and moving forward. How do you coach yourself through? What's going to be different? So we get to change our mindset. So I remember you were talking to me about how you were going to make some changes
Right.
from what you did this year about your mindset to the new year. How are you going to do that?
Okay, so I'm always thinking of new goals, new dreams, and things I want, but my problem is writing it down. So, like today, I started just what I was thinking. I was like, okay, write this down, Teuanna. So, I want to first start with just writing it down, because if once I think it, I write it down and I start saying it.
So I know some people talk about New Year's resolutions. I usually talk about manifesting.
Yeah.
The good thing about manifesting is that you can manifest anything at any time. Creating is limitless. So what I do is I start to think about what I want to manifest, because everything starts with a thought before you even write it down, before you even say it. So yeah, then I can write it down. How I manifest is I put it in my Bible and I leave it alone. Some people journal and write it down 50 times, write it down 30 times. You could pray about it, every night, or read your journal every night of what you want to manifest, or the thoughts that you have for yourself every year, or for throughout the year.
And then some people, I know they put a date on certain things. Like, I know they write dates and stuff sometimes. Sometimes I might write dates too as well, because I don't know, sometimes I like to look back on certain things. Bored, and I'll just get some magazines, newspaper, and then I'll just cut everything out that just draws my attention, whether it's words or pictures. And these are things that I'm expecting in that new year. So I'm definitely going to do that again before the new year. So that's my way of manifesting, like everything that I just want and just want to achieve and everything. So, and then it's fun. I like it. I get to create and just get lost into that art. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you are an artist.
Yeah.
I love
And
vision
that's
boards.
another thing I really got to start doing to my artwork as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to start writing goals too while I'm manifesting. So we have the SMART goals. I don't remember what all the SMART stands for, but up to God. But I'm going to still leave it up to God, but it's going to be very intentional.
Yeah.
And it's going to hold me accountable. I get to do the work. I mean, I've been quite lazy. God's been blessing me tremendously.
I've been
Just
feeling the same. Like, oh my goodness, I've been so lazy lately.
yeah.
But
So
I'm definitely gonna work on that as well.
I'm gonna set goals and do the work. There's definitely some things I want to do, like get a new car. You know,
Me too.
I could of course, put in my Bible and trust God that He's gonna give it to me. But once I get it, am I going to be able to keep up with the car payments?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to be able to keep up with the maintenance? I haven't done the work. I haven't done the work to make sure I have that extra money in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so that's another thing is setting goals that I'm going to do.
And that's why you said you want to work on that procrastination or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was
throwing you out
okay.
there?
Oh my
She
gosh,
like,
she's
oh,
throwing me
you
under
did.
the bus.
I'm like, oh, that was our little private talk.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a procrastinator. Hi, to Swifferjet.
Hey.
So my boyfriend, he was like confused, like, why do you want to do double work? And I was like, because I don't think the Swifferjet, would. Look at you getting all
I
cute
know.
on the TV.
I'm like,
I don't think the Swifferjet will pick up
It's a
all the
pretty
dirt,
moment
so I
for
need to,
you.
I need to sweep first. And he showed me, like, no, it's this easy. It picks up the dog hair, picks up everything. So I'm hesitating in the how and doing double work of something that is just as simple as literally just twisting my arm and going like this, and it picked up everything. I didn't even need a dustpan.
Wow.
And all I had to do was be open, because at first I was arguing with him, like, no, I want to do it my way. And once I was open to receive something new to learn,
Yeah.
it was very easy. And now I use it all the time. It's like, wow. So the how is what slows me down, and then I kind of get an argumentative.
I'm a perfectionist, and I'm okay with, not getting it the first time, but after a certain time, I do get really discouraged, or sometimes if I don't know what's on the other end, it does like bother me because I think I am like a big control freak. So it's like if I don't know, I don't know, it just bothers me, and I don't know. I'm trying to work on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, don't beat yourself up. That's just
Right.
you get to you change your mindset. You get beat up enough in the world, and it can be very scary. It can be very scary messing up.
Yeah.
But for a person that's messed up 1,000 times, I can tell you that's where I've gotten my wisdom. Is because, and that's where I've received my faith. The more that I'm going to be, shunned from the world.
Yep.
It's never so bad that, to be honest, for me, that's fortunately nobody else was hurt. God has always protected me. So I'm thankful for my mess ups. It's scary though. It is very scary to make a mistake or to do something that you thought it was a mistake, but it's not a mistake.
And it's funny. I was just saying a prayer earlier to God, just saying, I don't regret, things that I went through because I know I needed to learn those, those lessons and everything. And it wasn't easy. It was a lot. A lot of times, I just was feeling like I was losing myself and everything. And I don't know. I just try to learn and just try not to stay stuck in those places and just move forward and like you said, not beat myself up and know that I tried. And baby, I'll be like,
It's okay. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling right now, because this is real. And our topic today is changing your mindset. New year, new mindset.
Yeah.
And it is scary. It's scary when, especially if you're going to change a mindset and do something different, you're jumping into the unknown. And what if you do make a mistake? What does it look like when you jump into the unknown? Give me one too, baby. My little pumpkin pie is running the cameras. Oh, I said her name out loud. Give me one, baby. And it's going to get you to the point where this is where God wants you to pray.
Yeah.
He wants you to lean on Him. He wants you to rely on Him and trust Him. This is where your faith comes in and your growth. I remember one time I had to go to a shelter because I was being verbally abused and everything by one of my husbands. And I was like, Mom, why can't I come home? And everybody's like, why won't your mom let you come home? My mom said, baby, I want you to learn. How would my faith have grown if I'm sitting in my mom's house?
Yeah.
How would I have learned the wisdom that I've learned? The first time that I learned how to speak in tongues, I was in a shelter. When you help people too much, you cut off their blessings. God wants you sometimes to go through it. He wants you to go through the darkness so you can have faith. It's a part of the yin and the yang and the balance. So as we go into the new year of 2022, I want you guys to jump into the unknown. Propel forward in your life. Set those goals, manifest, and do what you want to do for yourself. Find out what do you
or you just holding on and holding on all of that hurt and anger and bitterness, and that's just not going to make you feel better. So you have to forgive and let go. It don't mean that you forgot what happened to you, but you're forgiving that to release certain things.
Yep. And once you release, guess what, guys? It's opportunity for new things.
Yes.
Once you have forgave, now it's steps now. You're just not going to roll over in 2022 in January and say Happy New Year's. I forgive everybody that's hurt me. There's going to be work to be done. Like, you're going to have to do the work, do the shadow work. Google whatever you need to Google for grief and forgiveness. Do the work that works for you. Whatever I did to work out my forgiveness may not be the process that works for you.
I did not even expect this. I'm talking, I'm just like, oh my gosh, Teuanna. And I'm like, oh, Lord.
I know, exposing our feelings.
And then that's when I looked at you. I said, oh, I done got you emotional.
Yes, you got me crying. Lady Z, is anyone in there chiming in? Not yet. You guys don't have any expectations for 2022?
I guess it's the weather. I believe it was raining, so I guess everybody relax and chill.
But you guys can catch this later. We on every Wednesday.
Yes.
We're going to keep on talking about jumping in.
Yeah. I know, and it's like really jumping in just a water, just the big sea, and surrounded by whales and sharks.
When you jump in, God's with you. He ain't gonna let no big shark eat you. However, when Jonah got in the whale, he was okay.
And I was about to say, I listen to a lot of real stories, and it's people who that was out in the sea and for days, and they survived. And I just be like, oh my goodness, like I would have been just so terrified. But they had to really stay strong and believe that they was gonna make it and stuff. So that's just something you really have to carry through life, And I'm really really trying to have a strong mind and have more faith in everything. I don't want to keep living all scary and afraid of everything. And most of the times when I did give myself a try, like I did well, so I'm just keep telling myself, like, you just got to keep, for anything next and new, just keep telling and believing
because you
that.
are brilliant. When I talk to you, you have such wonderful ideas for us to talk about, and you're so mature for your age. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, you passed me. You have a older spirit. There's so much down deep in you to come out. And I hope I get to see that of you. I hope you'll be able to share that with the people, because what I want for everybody is to be their authentic self. And you're not your authentic self when you're scared, or when you're your authentic self, but you just haven't came out yet.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to be okay with coming out to be yourself and doing what you want out of life, and jumping into the unknown and the darkness. Sometimes when I jump into the unknown, I feel like I'm going to fail too. I ain't going to lie. Sometimes I'm like, if this doesn't work, what is my family going to say of me? What are people going to think of me? Everybody's going to talk about me. But for 22, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
I don't have time to worry about what people think, feel, want from me. I'm sorry. I can't give it to you. I only have time to do what God has asked me to do. And He's already gave me one assignment, and it's to spread His love all over the earth.
You said it.
That's my assignment for right now. That's all I can focus on right now. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to do a lot of jumping for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like right now, but of course he's going to tell me.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it,
it's a balance. Sometimes you have to make that time for yourself. And then there's times when like you said, you want to spread love and everything. And I'm trying to learn how to give myself love. You want to spread, and because sometimes we do feel like we do give ourselves so much love that we want to give it to others. And I feel like I need to work on giving myself more love. Because I definitely love to give love and everything, but I feel like I'm lacking it with myself, and that's
so that you just answered like a lot of your questions and a lot of other people's questions. So I had the same issue. I was like, God, how do I love multiple people? is very hard. And what he told me was the same thing you just said. Basically, love yourself and love me. Spend time with me. So as he said, as you love me and love you, we're one. And as you go out into the world, as you do and be you, you're loving other people.
Yeah.
It's not like an action, like you have to go pick up a friend. You have to spend 20 minutes on this friend they're calling.
Yeah.
It gets to look different. That's about the newness for the new year. It actually, for me, it gets to look like me meditating, me praying more, me making sure everything I do, God is considered first.
Yeah.
That's a new behavior for me. I used to do that when I was doing ministry, but I took a break.
Yeah.
He's calling me back. And that's all he's asking for is his time.
Yeah.
And I don't have to do as much as I thought I had to do as far as loving others. He said, love me.
You feel like you was given a lot of love
I
and
felt
was
like,
forgetting yourself?
yeah, I was forgetting myself, not knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
God was like, look at how much money you gave to all these people. Look, all this time you give to all these people. Now, and that's hard for me because that's my spiritual gift. So if it's my spiritual gift, I just do it. And I always say to myself, I can go without eating all day. I can go without, being late for my rent. They can't. I always say they can't because they've never, been late.
Right.
Or, I don't want them to go hungry. So I'll give them my money. I'm used to fasting 2 days, 3 days. I can do it. I can drink water. But then you think about it, God was like, where would you be if you kept your money? Where would your business be? Where would I be with my relationship with God if I would have just stayed focused on me a little bit more? It doesn't mean that I don't love other people. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing my spiritual gift. But my spiritual cup has to be full in order to love other people. And it doesn't look like what I thought it looked like.
Yeah.
I thought loving other people meant paying their rent, paying their cell phone bill, spending time with them, my debts, take care of my business.
Yes.
That's what love looks like. And guess what? That means my self-love is taken care of too.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it. So this is the new year, new thinking.
Definitely.
I love your topic. I'm so glad you brought it to the table.
Yeah, it was just really so heavy on my mind. So I definitely was like, I have to share this. And I wasn't expecting to get emotional, but, we keep it real and authentic. So
Absolutely.
I just hope that, whoever's out there as well, just, know that it's okay. You're going to go through challenges and trials that my mom used to always say. And you just got to keep moving forward and believe in yourself. Love yourself more. Pray to God to help you. And it'll, day by day, time by time, and subscribe on YouTube, People to People with Rodney Grimes. And we appreciate you guys. Have a happy new year. Be safe and positive thoughts with positive thinking people, okay?
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Let's get this music going. I love this song.
That's
Y'all
over
already
there.
know I always
Yeah.
try to slip in and
Yep.
see what's
Come
going
on, come on.
So where
Yeah, in the middle.
You want-
Maya.
You want to show Maya how to do it? Okay.
No, that's all right. We
It's right up there. It's
Yeah.
up. You see where it say play?
yeah. So again,
I put it to the side.
we actually going into where we can go into the new year. I want to tell you, ladies, thank you so much for what y'all been doing and bringing to the table.
Yeah.
So we got Let's Talk About It Wednesday, where you see we have Miss Hanadi, the life coach coming in. We got Cristy Love and Queen T.
Yes.
And what we're trying to do is just empower everybody. We're trying to get to a point where we represent people to people, letting people know that this is what this is about. This is not about me. This is not about you, but it's all about us.
Yes.
So with that said, I'm gonna see if I can make this thing play.
She said it.
She got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got it?
I had it.
And we want to say thank you to baby girl over
Yes.
here that's working the board. The girl is phenomenal. Maya, we love you, baby. I'm trying to tell you, she is just phenomenal. We cannot do this alone. We do it as a team. And we just want to say thank you to everybody. Miss Hanadi, we're so grateful
Yes.
for you. And we can't wait to see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, so that was
Sure.
good. Yeah, and that was a good session y'all had too.
We did.
Yeah. I was taking little notes and stuff. Yes, really, really good.
That's
You
what's
saw
up.
me get all emotional. Oh my gosh, they
Cried like a
had a duck. She
baby.
had a duck and pass us. She like, give your mama some too.
Yep.
I said, dang, I done got you emotional too.
I know. I
They
saw your
just hit
eyes.
me out of nowhere. I'm like, oh
Your
my
eyes turn red.
goodness.
I said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I know. I
no,
was trying to
I think
hold
it's
back,
coming."
and I'm like, dang. And he's like, just go
I
ahead.
said, feel what you're feeling. Allow
Yeah.
yourself to feel it.
And I was like, dang. So
God
yeah,
is good.
yeah.
But
So they gonna say, dang, it was 2 sessions going on.